But yeah, so you've got this book out now.
Yeah.
How old did you when you were in Desmond's again?
I was 8.
Okay.
When I did that, yeah.
We were just reminded, we went to the same drama school, but he was in
did?
the Y. Yeah, me and Reggie, but he was in the YPs.
So the thing is, I think that you're being generous calling it a drama school. Because it was, I see it as a community drama club.
It was amazing.
Because where we were, so we went to...
What's the difference?
Have you looked at this yet?
I
haven't
Let me
looked
just
at
show
it
you this.
What's the difference?
Fam, and do you know what?
You get that right?
Bro, like, the opening page is one thing that I have to say as well. And it's thank you, Anna Share. And genuinely, like, I thank Anna Share for everything I've ever accomplished in my life.
Explain, like, elaborate.
Basically, there was a drama school called...
Drama Club.
All right, okay, no, let me stop you there.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Drama schools are Sylvia Young's. Italia Conti.
Yeah.
Fee paying, uniform wearing, ballet, dance, teaching clubs or schools.
We were family, cause I can't lie. Man was a family, bro.
We went to normal school, and then afterwards you go for like 1 or 2 hours, once or twice a week if you were professional, if you were doing jobs. Whereas Sylvia Young's, Italia Conti's, blah 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 blah, that was school. You go there and you do like dance and all the rest of it, and drama wasn't extracurricular. That was just another lesson. You had your academic part of the day, and you also had your performance part of the day. Where we went to normal schools. I went to Central Foundation Boys School in Old Street, and then afterwards I go there in my uniform.
Straight.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Straight.
So that was the difference. That's why I see it as a club. The only thing
agree.
that took it above like a community centre or whatever else that was doing drama is that it had its own agency attached. And Anna's had a reputation for delivering kids with London accents who could improvise and who were raw and rough around the edges.
We could improvise, bro. That's how I got my first. Like my first audition was at the Bill, and the first thing they said was like, "Why did you improvise?" And they were asking me bad questions. But because we've gone to the drama club, like that's all you knew.
Yeah.
Anna was just like, "Just be you." Like it was sick. I miss Anna so.
Talk to me about
much.
what you was gonna talk about with that person there in the book that's mentioned.
Well, I just pointed it out. I mean, the book, the first page, or the second, third page,
I can't believe that, bro.
It's dedicated to Anna. It says
it
says for Anna Shear, thank you. And Poe will completely identify with what I'm about to say, and that is he just said it himself. I wouldn't be sat with you now if this woman didn't exist. This is a Jewish woman in her 70s who opened up this community club, it's charity, for local kids who couldn't afford to express themselves in places that would charge. So when I started at Anna's, it was £2.50 a lesson. We're talking mid-90s.
Really?
And I was booking jobs that were paying me thousands, but I'd still pay my £2.50.
Yeah.
You know, it was not like it was subsidised. That was the cost, regardless of whether you were working or not.
Yeah.
And Anna gave a platform to people like us.
Yeah.
Not people like us, gave a platform to us.
Yeah.
And Dizzy Rascal.
And Daniel Kaluuya and all these different people. Loads of us went through Anna's, right?
Loads of us.
And it was just a place where you were not only encouraged to be yourself, but that was the cornerstone of everything that you were taught.
Yeah.
You know, you weren't just taught about drama and dance and all the other things that they were doing there. But when you walked in, there was one side of it was dedicated to India, one side was dedicated to Africa. Yeah.
Okay.
They had like words of the week on the wall. You were made to read out loud. You were taught poetry. You had to read out loud.
If you notice this notice, your notice is not worth noticing. Like, and you had to say it like, and then
say that again.
If you notice this notice, you'll notice this notice is not worth noticing. So like, she would make you get up and go and say it. And then one time I said it, and she was like, "That doesn't sound anything like you. Say it like you're talking to your friends."
Okay.
And I was just like, "What is this woman? What is this?"
Was this also about helping people build the confidence to read out loud as well, though?
Everything is about. I think it was more to do with you being a confident person with who you are in your skin. Because I was a very insecure child, very insecure, and literally within 2 years, I think, of Anna Shares, the poet that you see today that just doesn't give a shit was born. Because I just realized, like, wow, all the things I'm worrying about, they mean absolutely nothing.
True.
To the point where I used to stay behind and talk to Anna for about 15 minutes because she had another class after us. And she was trying to push me to go to the young professionals class with Reggie. And I was gassed because Reggie was in there. Who's your boy that was you saying? Devon was in there. There was bare sick people in that class. I was like, I want to be there, but I had football on a Saturday, so I couldn't go. So I used to just stay behind sometimes and talk to her, talk to Rima.
Yeah.
Like, I miss that so
Anna's a
much.
special, man.
Really?
And a lot of people, I mean, just to give it a bit more context, it started in the 70s. And the reason that Anna's blew up was because around that time, I think it was like the late 70s, early 80s, the ITV and BBC were basically doing much more sort of working class centered projects. So when they launched EastEnders, when they launched The Bill, when they launched London's Burning, all of those serial dramas, Casualty, all of them, the original cast of all of those shows came from Anna Shears. These were people with London accents and people that were a bit raw and it didn't feel like plummy RP speaking stage school kids. And so the entire first generation of all of those dramas came from Anna's, and from then on you just had this legacy of Londoners coming through this place.
Do schools of that sort still exist?
Well, that one got closed down because of a guy called Andy Smith, and I'm not a person that dislikes people, but I fucking hate that guy, guys.
Yeah.
He came in with this attitude, and next you know, I didn't know. I used to say to Andy Smith, "Where's Anna? You don't say that name here." I was like, "What?"
Wow.
I said, "Cause I don't know who you think you are, cause I'll smash up this whole drama." Like, I said to my dad, "Take me out. I'm going. I don't want to come back here, bro."
It's really sad to hear that, because there's a few years between us, maybe more than a few years, but we ain't gonna get into birthdays. There's a few years between us. So I left. So the way that Anna's worked was this, right? You had the community classes, and then the minute you showed some sort of promise, they put you on a casting card, which meant that you got up for auditions, right?
That was sick.
Bars, right?
It was sick.
They put you on a casting card, right? Then you got up for auditions.
You walk into the room, your pictures on the wall next to everyone. You've
Got your picture taken.
serious?
You're because you're a professional now. So,
Yeah.
Levels.
Right, so you start going for auditions, and then the minute you get a job, you then go into if you're under 16 or under 18, you then go into the young professionals, which we called the YPs, which was 2 classes a week. So you'd have a school night class, like an afternoon, and then you'd have the Saturday, which poker and attend because of football, right? So I was in those 2 classes, and I graduated like from community class to young professionals like in a month, because I was a show off, I was loud. I went for an audition. First audition was Desmond's. I got it. Boom, straight in. So there was that, right? And then when you got to 18, you went to the professionals, which was the adult class, which was people from the age of 18 to their 60s, who were working actors who went to Anna's, and they'd come there to train and do improvisation and so on and so forth. Now, when I started, Anna was in her 50s. Anna had a nervous breakdown, I believe it was. I think it was a nervous breakdown, right? This is after I'd left, because I left Anna's. I left the agency. Oh, really?
I remember when you left.
Oh, okay. I left the agency and I left the classes when I was 18 and a half, 19. Well, 80, yeah. So just before CBBC, Top of the Pops and all that. I left Anna's just before all of that.
And before
happened,
Andy
right?
Smith came as well.
Right. So she had a nervous breakdown, took her some leave, and then the directors decided to take over the theatre and start running it, right? They then brought in this new guy, Andy Smith, to run. And when she got over her sickness, they basically said, "You can't come here anymore.
Bruh.
You're not fit to teach these children."
And they call it the AS theatre. And they call it the AS theatre because Andy Smith and Anna Shea had the same initials.
Can you imagine?
So they just come there and just change up the whole thing.
It gets deeper, bruv. So this is a woman who's built this thing from the ground up. Her DNA is in all of us as performers. The way that she teaches, the way that she talks, the things that matter to us, matter to her.
Yeah.
Like, all of it has come from her, right? So they say, we don't want you in the theatre anymore. You are not fit to teach these children. They then bring in different teachers. They then remove her name from the building.
Remove her name.
That is madness.
And then they stop her from coming into the building altogether. And so she has to start teaching out of a church around the corner.
That's mad.
And you want to know the scariest thing about that, bruv? They've now renamed Anna Shea Theatre to the Young Actors Theatre, and she is still teaching in a church around the corner.
I've gone there twice to find her and I couldn't
Really?
find her. I've gone there twice to find her and I couldn't. Bro, I can't lie.
It's mad.
Have you spoken to her?
I speak to Anna every now and again. I know where she lives.
Okay.
We've got like, it's weird because we are like a family.
Yeah.
Everyone that's been there, like if there's someone that I found out that went to Anna's that I didn't know, like Locksmith from Rudimental, he went to Anna's.
Yeah.
And
no way.
Yeah, Leon, like he went there, right? So I didn't know.
He's a real guy.
And he was like, you used to be in my class at Anna Shear's. And because I was young popping.
Yeah.
Everyone knew me, but I didn't know everyone.
Okay.
Because I was just me, Dev. Like, me and Dev were in the same class, my boy Danny. And I just moved with my little crew and that was it.
Okay.
So I sort of knew people, but I didn't really know. And then obviously you had young people coming up that were like, oh, that's the black boy that's doing TV, that's doing Disney, that's doing da-da-da-da-da.
Okay.
So I didn't really know of everyone. So every now and again, someone will come to me and say stuff.
Yeah.
But it works in the other way too. Because in my class, in the young professionals, was Naomi Harris.
Oh, wow.
Miss fucking Moneypenny.
Serious?
Was in my class. And I was hosting the Mobos one year and she was about to present an award. And I went to her, you don't remember me, do you? And she went, from where? And I was like, we were in the same class at Anna Shares. She was like,
what?
No, we weren't. I was like, yes, we were. But it goes and it goes and it goes. You know, I mean, she's a Hollywood star and she was coming there because she's a local girl.
Okay.
That's mad. I can't lie. Reggie, low key, I can't admit this too many times. You was the coolest person at Anna Shea.
Alright, do you know what?
They used to chat about him all the time. You got to be like Reggie. I was like, yeah, cause I was going to be like him.
So you was, do you know what though? This is interesting because I remember seeing on your Instagram snap, like you mentioned something about school though. And I remember, it might not have been that particular school, but you said something along the lines of, like, like having something being tough. Like having, I can't remember. See, I wish I remembered what it was.
I think I know it's because a couple people have brought this up.
Yeah,
it was on the day that I got delivered the first copy of the book. By the way, it's out now.
Yeah.
On the day I got delivered the first copy of the book, I was like, it was delivered to Shoreditch House. I was having a meeting upstairs. I grabbed my copy. I went and sat in my car and I just looked at the book and I held it in my hands.
Yeah,
and it just rocked me.
Yeah, and then you insta-snapped.
And then I insta-snapped and I just sort of was just talking about, the fact that regardless of what people say, you can do whatever you have in your head.
Okay.
You can do whatever. And it was, in hindsight, I'm a bit annoyed that I didn't sit and think about what I was going to say and how I was going to say it because, I write, so I would have liked it to have been a bit more on the money.
Yeah.
But the emotion was real and the reason I said it was real because it's not like I didn't grow up with dyslexia. I didn't grow up with anything challenging me to actually physically write, but I've always been drawn to storytelling. But I never had the confidence in myself and I never had the self-belief to know I could do this. And more importantly, no one ever told me I could do this. And I think that's part of the problem. Like, we don't have enough people, either as examples or even as vocal examples, saying, you can do what I've done and this is what I've done. And that's part of the reason that I'm here today, because I want to shout from the rooftops about writing this, not just because I want people to read it, because I think there's a lot in there in terms of lessons. It's not an autobiography. It's not.
I've been reading
it's about my factual. I'm glad.
I'm on the third chapter.
Good. I just want to shout about the fact that I really get into the nuts and bolts of self-doubt.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to talk to you about that. Actually.
Wicked. And I mean, I talk about it in the intro, when you're a young black man from a council estate and your mum's on benefits and you ain't got food in your fridge and you're, like me, suddenly launched into this world where you're surrounded by white middle-class people who are talking about wine and rugby and haven't got a care in the world and aren't worrying about paying the TV license, aren't hiding from the TV license, man, like we used to every week. And TV was my life. When you're launched into that world, you get a cultural baptism of fire. And that's what I had from the age of 8. I was suddenly thrown into an environment that I didn't understand. I was suddenly surrounded by people who spoke a different language to me. And I had to try and figure it out. And since that age, I've gone on this journey of self-discovery, self-belief, and also understanding that whatever I have in my head, I can actually do it. Which is why in the last few years, I've gone from being led to leading. And that's why I'm doing stuff like this now.
What has the journey been between the self-doubt and the self-belief thing? Because when I was reading that book, I did notice that there's a good few times in the beginning that you do mention like self-doubt and confidence and stuff like that. To like talk on that a little bit on, you going through that period of time, because from that outside looking in, from someone who's like looked at your career from here and there, it's always like, and I think I'd speak for a lot of people of saying that you've always come across as a guy who's extremely confident, had loads of things going on for you. So then why at any point would you ever doubt yourself?
It's not so much about confidence in the traditional sense. Like, I can talk to anybody. I'm not scared to be myself wherever I go. It's more a question of saying, all right, do you know what? This isn't what I've ever wanted, but like, I want to be a Hollywood actor, right? Tell her, and I did. When I was acting, obviously you want to be in the Premier League, right? So, cool, I want to be a Hollywood actor. I want to be in Hollywood movies. No one around me was saying, okay, you're going to do it, and here's how you're going to do it. Or come here, let me help you, and let me encourage you, and let me put you in the right spaces to do that. That happened mad late in my story. That happened when I met Idris. When Idris went to me, nobody in the UK puts their arm around young talent. I'm going to put my arm around you. Come to my management company. A week later, I was signed to his agency. And then I was getting put in drama jobs here and there, right? Quite quickly, I realised that my strength doesn't lie as being an actor. That's not what I'm best at. Like, I've got to a point. Like, I'm an old man now. I know my own bullshit. No, I am. I'm 34, but I feel like I'm 44. I feel like a lot older.
Why do you feel that way though? What makes you feel like you're?
Bruv, I've been around for so long.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for so long, and it's wicked because you get so many lessons from it, right? You see people come and go. Yeah. You see the mistakes that other people have made, and also.
But you're young still.
Yeah, I still got time.
Yeah.
I've still got a hell of a lot of time. But my work rate has gone up because I'm very aware of my mortality. I'm very aware of how much time I actually have. If I'm lucky, and if I keep living well, that's why I train well. That's why I train so much. That's why I eat well. I want to be here as long as I can because I've got so much to say. If I'm lucky, I'm going to get to 80, 90. If I'm lucky. That's not that long, bruv.
Yeah, well, they say that we're living they say that people are living a lot longer now.
Hopefully. I've got a lot to say. I've got a lot to do, and there's a lot of people that I want to help. Yeah. And I've already started helping people, and I think my work reflects that, particularly things like this.
Yeah. Do you know what? Talking of that, I think Poet would be the most coolest 100-year-old person in the world. Could you imagine Poet when he's 100 years old?
I'd love to see Poet at 100.
I want to see my
grey braids, string vests.
Do you reckon you'll still have them? You're still gonna hold on to them? Do you reckon?
Please don't get rid of them.
I think I'm gonna get dreads when I'm like 50. And
serious?
And me and my kids just all dreaded up, just chilling out.
I love that.
And grandkids and that.
I love it.
But Poet, like, as well, like, just to go back on that as well, I think that, like, that's one thing that I actually respect about you, Poet, is that Poet has been a person who's like put his arm around young talent that have been doing the same thing. And if you look at some of his friend groups, they're all doing pretty much a lot of the same things that you're doing, but just in different circles through things that you...
It's what Reggie said, though, but with me, I trusted too many people. I trusted a lot of people. And they were full of shit. Like, I can just reel off names that disappointed me, just led me to disappointment and they're great people. They probably have done amazing things with other individuals, but for me, they just fucked me over completely. So I gave the last person, I'm not even going to say names because it's just become a barrel of problems.
Keep that energy, man.
But the last person who really did fuck me over, I remember sitting down, it was just me and my cousin, and me and my cousin done absolutely everything this person asked. And we were just so wanted to be, like, we just loved music. And when we got fucked over, we got dropped out, and he got an artist signed, and he goes, I'm not going to work if you don't know more. Bear in mind, we done whatever he asked, we did it, we delivered. I looked at my cousin, I said, you know what? I am never asking a single man on this planet for anything again unless I'm putting money in his pocket. I don't want nothing from no one. I'll walk home. And when I used to leave one extra, when I quit work and everything, I used to walk home. Because I was not asking no one for nothing. I didn't give a shit. I wore the same trainers for like a year and a half. I don't want nothing from no one. Once I put that, I said, all right, cool. Now I'm in a position where I'm going to help people. I'm going to show everyone the way you're meant to do this shit. Because I grew up in an estate. When you grow up in an estate, you've got your small set of friends and you look out for each other. You're a proper family. I just said, you know what? Boom, Mitch, what do you want to do? Boom, let's do this. When Maya come in the scene, I remember they're trying to make her do all this video shit. I sat Maya down, I said, Maya, fuck that. Like, you're funny. We sit down, we drink, we have a laugh. If you showcase that, that's going to take you a lot further than jumping in any hood rapper's video.
Yeah.
Maya today. I remember Shy, who does amazing things now. She just bare views on Radar and all that.
Yeah.
What do you want to do, Shy? Like, let's just try and bring you bare different people, different places. And with Vib a lot now, like, there's bare people.
Different examples,
but I don't even talk about it too much because it's like, that's just what's meant to happen.
Right.
That's just breathing.
That's it.
Like, that is not meant to be anything that you should gloat about and feel mad proud. And that is the way it should be done. And the reason why I'll say to people I've done this and that is because I want them to do it. Mitch has got in as a girl called Yasmin Diaz, who's like, now Mitch has noticed the talent she had. He's brought her on a fashion show that he's doing on YouTube. So now what I'm doing is just everyone's just doing the same thing now. When I first met Mitch, I'll be honest with you, very self-centered, very much about Mitch. Now he's understanding that there's no glory in that. Like, it doesn't even feel good. Like, imagine getting to the top and being by yourself. Whereas my thing is, I want to get to the top and all my niggas are there. Everyone there from day one, we're all here and we're just like, wow, we can laugh at our journey and we can create new opportunities for like loads of different people. So
is that something that you're conscious of as well? Like, now being in the position that you're in, like looking at younger talent and kind of putting your arm around them and
it's all I've been doing for the last these last 2 years of my life have redefined me as a man. There was a massive change in my life that happened 2 years ago, and since then, everything is different. Everything is different, particularly how I carry myself in terms of work.
Personal
it was a personal thing. Okay. And what I do with what my energy is. Yeah. Who I invest my energy into. Also giving. I listen to a lot of motivational people and I read a lot of books, and I really love the idea of the 5149, which is giving 51% of anything. Well, asking for only 49% of anything that has 100% in it. And in doing that, you actually receive purer and better energy because you're asking for less than what you're receiving. And that's something that I truly believe in terms of my energy. Every day, I invest in more people. Like, there's lots of things that I've done in terms of my own personal life that have really changed my work life just by proxy, just because my energy is different, just because I'm a different person. Like, I've got a list of 10 things that I live by, that I look at every day, and they've almost become a mantra to the point where the first thing on the list is simplify. The last thing on the list is give thanks. Yeah. Every day I say thank you to at least 2 or 3 people for no reason. I just message them and say, just so you know, that thing you did last year, thank you.
Oh, sick.
Even if I said thank you then, it's just important to give that.
Yeah.
And just that transfer of energy, it's just amazing what comes back. Even so far as mentoring or investing in relationships. Investing in relationships is one of those 10 things. Investing in people, sorry, to be more specific. I mean, even with you, Poe and Craig, like, we were meeting up and we were having dinners and we were talking and da-da-da-da-da. Poe has a baby. I say to him, look, this is, 2 babies.
Yeah.
You need to read this before those boys arrive.
Yeah.
So I send you the book. I send you a couple
Yasmin's
of
reading
books.
it. It's just mad.
Yeah. I sent Poe that book before the babies came because it was important to him. Like, I have this bit of knowledge that has helped me massively in terms of my own journey. I'm fascinated by parenthood and fatherhood, and I'm fascinated by example, patriarchy. Yeah. Someone that I know and love is having children. Yo, open your eyes to this and see what it does for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of where I am with everything. I'm mentoring 4 people now.
Yeah.
And I will continue to do that. And it's just important that you give. And I really, really understand the power of giving, because if you're asking all the time, that's just the wrong energy to be.
Yeah, I fully hear you.